Testing 1, 2, 3. Okay, looks like it's working. We're inside of my car. Episode 2 of Pretend We're on the Phone. Season 2, 2023. We're so happy to be alive. Yeah, we're happy to be alive. That's a beautiful thing, living. So technically speaking, I should be able to record episode 3, and this is because I need to tell you guys this. Obviously, that's why I'm saying it. I actually cannot post episode 2 because I was rethinking it over and I was listening. I already recorded episode 2, so I'm trying to say, prior to this now recording of episode 2. I'm trying to just be super clear. I ended up talking about the military, and I feel like I may have said something offensive. And I don't want to offend anybody in the military because, you know, my father was in the military and my grandfather was in the military. He fought in the Vietnam War, but I guess everyone did because they had no choice. But you know, okay, see, now I'm already going on a rant. But my point is, I said something about the military, the army specifically. I said something about someone I knew / know that is currently in the military. And then I made a joke about his job. And I feel like, you know, he's not the only person who's in the military, though. So if you make a joke of him having this job, one, I was being a hypocrite because of the reason it was brought up. And two, you know, let him have his job. Let him have his job. I respect everybody. Who is this nigga looking at me? Sorry, profanity. I don't know where that word came from, really. Yeah, so I'm re-recording episode 2. It was all of that prequel was just to say episode 2 is starting now, and it's nothing, it's not the same episode I just recorded, I think yesterday. Yeah, literally yesterday. Oh, so I'll get to the point of this episode later, but let me tell you guys what I did yesterday. Our refund checks came in. I go to school, so I get a refund check every quarter. If you don't make the perfect amount of loan, most people go a little bit above to cover books and yada yada yada. So I went a little bit above just in case a terrible thing happened and I was fired at work, right? Because I work part-time or full-time hours, low-key. But, you know, if an emergency happens, and the point is that you're supposed to be in school, so it doesn't really make sense for you to be working 40 hours at a dead-end job, and then also pay rent and for schooling all alone. Most people can have parents. Some of us take out big loans. I have parents. My parents just aren't multimillionaires, which is fine. Love them nonetheless. I'm also not a multimillionaire, so, you know. All of that to say, so yesterday our refund checks came in, and so whenever my refund check comes in, I always am like, oh, I'm going to go out and I'm going to go shopping, but not fun shopping. All the shopping shit that I should have bought months ago, but I was like, oh, I don't feel like spending extra money. It's like things are important, but things I can live without, like good groceries rather than just canned food, or getting a new Brita filter. It's like, yeah, the filter is expired. It's an expired filter. But water is not going to kill you. That's not true. Well, maybe something awful was in the water. But this is the same water I shower in, if you think about it, right? It's all the same water. All from the same water fixture. If I can bathe in it, I can drink it. Who is that gamer chick who sold her bath water? I just suddenly thought of that. And I bet a bunch of people drunk that up, which is kind of fucking disgusting. But the point is, what was I trying to get to? This year, we're going to try to focus on getting to the point. We're going to try to get to the point. We're going to try to get to the point. Which is what I'm going to do right now. So, yesterday, like I said, I went shopping. Got a lot of groceries, like actual good groceries, like vegetables that want in the canned, and vegetables that want just frozen. I know. A lot of them still were frozen vegetables, but some of them weren't. I got some bananas. I got some oranges. I got some stuff that I wanted to get. I forgot to get Brita filter, funny enough. I also forgot to get cocoa butter. You guys may be like, what are we talking about? I went to a Target, not Walmart, so I should have known better that there would be no cocoa butter. You know, Target will go around here and say BLM, Black Lives Matters, happy MLK Day, happy September, whatever that day is, Juneteenth, happy Juneteenth, happy effing February, you Negroes, we love you blacks, yeah! But they won't have any fucking cocoa butter? Are you kidding me? You might as well call me the N-word with the ER at the end, okay? Call me a slaw. Really. Okay, why wouldn't you have cocoa butter? You guys have this for curly hair section. You guys don't have cocoa butter? Fuck off. That's all I wanted to say about that. Oh, I also bought a chair yesterday that I'm sure my cat is going to destroy, which is unfortunate because it's a vintage $50 chair. And I'm going to be devastated when he inevitably ruins it. Okay. So, I was going to get to the point, which I'm going to do right now, getting to the point. Oh, thank you. I'm reminding myself, and I'm saying thank you to myself. This year is about being grateful to yourself, because who keeps you alive the most? You. Can I get an amen in the sanctuary? Okay, so this episode 2, we-filming it, re-recording it. I'm not filming it. When I was planning this episode out, I was talking about the title I came up with is H&M won't pay me enough for an apartment. Woo! Wait, I mean, that's so sad. Boo! So, when I recorded when I wrote this idea down, it was December 27th, so it was before the new year, and I was just like, I'm going to actually take this podcast somewhat seriously. I put some stuff on Photoshop that you guys can see on Instagram, pretend we're on the phone. Yeah, I think that's an Instagram, pretend we're on the phone. Not many people are going to come up with that as an Instagram name, so yeah. And I was like, I'm going to actually be proactive about what I do. From fun things to non-fun things, which is work. And I was like, I'm going to go and look for a new job next year eventually. But I thought before then we'll just because I assumed I wouldn't get a new job anytime soon. So this episode was just going to be me complaining about my job. Well, guys, let me tell you, I already got a new job. I know. I already got a new job. And I'm literally currently at the end of my 2-week notice. My last day is less than a week from now. It's 6 days from now. But, that's less than a fucking week. So I'm correct. God damn it. I'm a little devastated. So this new job is way better. It pays more. Well, it may not be way better. I haven't started yet. But it pays more. It pays more. It pays more. And so, obviously, I'm going there. When I found out how much the pay was, I almost started crying. Because I was like, wait a second. That's a livable wage. I may actually be able to get my own apartment. And I almost started crying, seriously. And I was so excited. But another reason I was kind of so sad is because I realized that means I have to put in my 2 weeks. I have no choice. Because I got the job offer. And I told them that I'd put in my 2 weeks when I get a job offer. So 2 weeks from whenever you guys want to offer me a job is when I can clock in for you. And I then literally at the end of that interview, he said, okay, well, here's your job offer. So be sure to put your fucking 2 weeks in, bitch. We want you in 2 weeks and you're going to be getting paid way more. And I was so happy. But after realizing how much I was getting paid more, I'm like, oh, I have to put my 2 weeks in today. And the reason that is sad is because I didn't expect to get, I never expected this amount of money to be offered to me. I make it sound like I'm going to be a millionaire. I'm not. It's still a part-time job, guys. But it means I have to leave H&M, if that makes sense. Because I know if it was $14 or something, I feel like I could probably convince my manager. My manager could probably convince someone else to match 14. But the number they gave me, I know they won't be able to match. And I drove to H&M knowing, like, oh, they're not going to be able to match my number. I have to put my 2 weeks in. And it was so sad because I was talking to one of my department managers. And I was saying, also, I need to tell you, oh my gosh, it kind of sucks, but I had to put my 2 weeks in. And we were always joking with each other. So she literally looked at me, started laughing and saying, okay, you're joking? And I was like, no, I have to put my 2 weeks in. I got a new job at XYZ and I have to go. And she was like, are you for real? Yeah, I'm for real. Are you kidding me? No, I'm not kidding you. Well, that's so sad. Yeah, I know. And then she asked how much I was gonna get paid. Not in a creepy way, not in a mean way, not in an overpowering department manager way, but like as a friend, and probably also saying like, well, maybe we can match it, you know? And I told her the number, and she said, oh my gosh, yeah, that's supervisor money, and you're gonna be starting there just as a cashier? Yeah. Well, damn. I'm gonna miss you after. And I said, yeah, well, you can still come over and it was such a thing. And so she went to tell our store manager, because she said, I'll lay the news down and then you can tell her as well. And I thought, that's perfect. I have to print it out anyways and like put it in writing that it's my 2 weeks. And so when she told the manager, she said that the manager, after she found out how much she was getting paid, I was going to get paid, she literally said, oh yeah, she has to leave because we can't match that pay. And she deserves, she's a friend. She wished she could pay us more. She just literally is not allowed to. It's not under her roof. H&M has a whole other team that's nowhere around here that decides how much we all get paid. And I'm sure they're making millions, and we're here living paycheck to paycheck. And it's so fucking ridiculous. And that's one of the reasons why I have to leave H&M. And that's one of the reasons I want to say this with my whole chest. Fuck H&M. One, if they can't pay their workers in America, in a first world country, in a whatever, working at the retail fronts, the people you see when you think of H&M, when you walk into the store, imagine how shit money they're paying the garment workers who are actually manufacturing your clothes. In fact, and I know this as a fact, look this up, okay? H&M doesn't have their own manufacturing company. They outsource it, right? So they go to another company and they say, put this, they say, make this a t-shirt, make this. They give them the designs, all that stuff, right? And then they also say, but we don't care how much you fucking pay these people. They don't. And people ask them, they were like, hey, H&M, do you make sure that the people who manufacture your clothes are getting paid well? And H&M's excuse was, well, since it's not under our ruling, we don't want to overimpose and force other companies to pay however much they want to pay. Which is the easy way of psyching out, saying, yeah, we know they're getting paid, yeah, we know they're getting paid shit money, but we don't care. And you guys can't even figure out how much they're getting paid because it's not under our name. Look it up if you want. It's not under our fucking name. You'll never know. And it sucks. They're so evil. But they're not getting paid well because you can go into an H&M and get a t-shirt for $5. So whoever made that t-shirt is being paid shit. The quality of that t-shirt is shit. How much did it cost them to find the fabric and stuff to even make the shirt? Someone had to weave the fabric together. Someone had to make, what I'm saying? All of this, it's not just what we see at the store. It goes so much farther deeper. And if I know they don't treat and pay me well, I know for a fact they're not treating or paying anyone well. Except the only people who get paid well at H&M are the people at the top. And it's so unfortunate. And I'm not saying everyone who works for H&M now is a devil, and they sure I'll put the 2 weeks in too. I'm not saying that at all. It just means I just knew that working at a company like this was literally draining me. And actually, I got nominated for something. I think everyone got nominated. But I got nominated for this award. And everyone got nominated. I'm not saying I was special or anything. But what irritated me is because they send you a certificate to say you were nominated. A fucking certificate. And you open this big-ass envelope and you read it and they're like, thank you for being dedicated to H&M. To show you our appreciation, here is a certificate. Dead ass. That's a quote. And they add extra words, but I did not. That is a quote. They just have some other words in between that means we're so grateful. I don't even, thank you or something like that. And when I saw that, and I knew how much they were paying me, like now, like how much I get paid at H&M, this is before I even had an interview down, okay, for this new job. I was like, you guys pay me $12 an hour and some change. Starting pay here is $12. I make $12.84. I don't know sometimes what I'm going to eat for dinner. And that sounds really dramatic. Worst comes to worst, I can call my mom or my dad or my uncle or someone. I'm not going to starve. I don't want to make it sound like I'm so impoverished, but I am a college student. And I do, I started out, I'm sorry for saying, so much. Actually, next time I say, come over to me, teleport me, find me, hunt me down, shoot me in the fucking forehead. I'm so sorry for saying, so much. Christ, I'm trying to get out of that habit. And the only way I can get out of the habit is if you shoot me in the forehead. Okay, yeah, let's get back into the swing of things, y'all. And I realized, and I remember thinking, this is how you guys want to show your appreciation? You can show your appreciation if you just pay me more. You can show me appreciation if you put a check in here. That means thank you. Because I'm not doing this from the goodness of my heart. It's a job. Say thank you by giving me something that will actually help my life. Not wasting paper. Fucking trying to say you guys are so sustainable. Bull fucking shit. Okay? And giving me a goddamn certificate. Because I'm going to hang a paper. Not even laminated. Not even fancy thicker paper with like the gold and stuff on it. Just a paper that was printed the gold stuff. Not the actual, like, the color wave. It looks like they just printed a certificate template, but it's not any of that fancy certificate paper. You know what I'm saying? I just said it again. I'm looking around, expecting a gun to my forehead. None of you guys have found me yet. We'll see how much longer I can go on. Okay. But there was nothing. It was just paper. Thank you so much. Here's some printer paper. Here's a printer paper that you can't even put in your printer because you don't own one because you can't afford one. But also because we already printed this bullshit that just says your name and says thank you for being nominated for something. You didn't even win. I give 2 shits. Okay? I give 2 fucking shits. We were all required to nominate someone. Wow, peeving me off. And when I saw that, I was like, they're laughing at me. The person who nominated me, loved them. They were just doing the job. But the people who sent out the paper that said this, the people who had the nerve to say thank you for working with us, they're laughing in our faces. They're laughing at me. That's how I imagined it. And I looked at my mom holding up the certificate. And I said, Mom, they're laughing at me. And she said, no, I'm sure if they could put money in, and if they could pay you more, they would. And I said to Mom, Mother, they're the 3rd biggest fast fashion company in the world. They may be 2nd. The top one is Shein, and then Zara and H&M, switch between each other. They have the money to pay us more. They're choosing not to. And that choosing not to is what makes them evil. Because being incapable of paying someone more than $12, okay. My manager is incapable of giving us more than $12. But that's because H&M is standing on her fucking neck. And that's what makes H&M evil. Evil! Oh my God. My name, it says H&M Sales Associates full time. Can anyone survive off of $12.84? Do we want to do the math? Okay. Imagine I work 30 hours tops because I'm a college student. But imagine it was full-time. I'm working like 35 to 40 hours a week, right? Okay. 12.84 times, let's say 37, right? Because I don't feel like doing all the taxes. So I'm taking 2 hours off so I don't have to worry about taxes. Okay, 37. Was that 3 hours? Anyways, equals $475. We get paid bi-weekly, so multiply that times 2. So every week, every paycheck, I'm getting almost $1,000. I make $950. Okay? I actually have worked 35 hours weeks. I have worked 40-hour weeks. And yeah, you get around $950, right? And then in a month, times 2. So every month, I'm bringing home $1,900. Which you guys would think, well, that's not bad. How much do you think a single bedroom apartment is? If you're lucky, $1,100. Realistically, $1,300. So a $1,300 apartment. All of your money is going to your apartment. You cannot live alone. You can't. It's just the facts. And we can say whatever you want, like, well, you're young, you're supposed to have roommates, you're supposed to have this. That's a fucking lie, guys. That's a lie. When people say, oh, well, you should have roommates, you should do this, you should do that. That's bullshit. It's not that you should, it's that you have to. It's because there's no other choice. You think people who don't have to live with someone else chooses to live with someone else? Unless if they're fucking each other, no, they don't. Okay, if you can live on your own, most people choose to live on their own. But since places like H&M and landlords and all that stuff refuses to make life livable, we all started living on top of each other. And we could pretend like that makes us a good environment. And that, oh, well, that means you always have a friend nearby. You always have a roommate. You always have a friend. I said friend. You always get to live with your family forever. Fuck that. Let's stop pretending like these are all good things. It's not good things. And I'm not saying I hate my roommates or I hate living with my parents or any of that. But I'm saying, and I'm being real, I know I do and I know you do, would much rather live on your own just to see how that is, just to see if you exist. And then you know when you leave the house, you're leaving the house because you want to leave. And that can even force you to have even more friends, whatever. And I know I'm correct because those are the rich people I know. All of the students whose parents have money and all that stuff, they don't have roommates. Those are the facts. And when you see these big-ass CEOs of stores like this, their kids do not have roommates. Their kids live in an apartment on their own, and they probably drive a fucking Tesla. So there. That's one of my problems with H&M. And want to get to specifics? Want to hear the story of a lifetime? I'm thinking if I can say this. Sure, I can. Why not? Who cares? So H&M, there was a time when this happens at H&M. This is another nail in the coffin when I realized, I have to leave. Around the summertime, that's when I was promoted to full-time officially, and I would, at minimum, I'd have to work 30 hours. I think it's 28 hours at minimum you have to work if you're full-time. So I'm working at least 28 hours a week. I'm going to school as well, whatever. Summer comes over, now I'm working even more. All the hours, right? And I go up to my manager and I let her see. I tell her, this is how much I made in the last check. And how many times have you seen me this week? I need more money. And she's like, we're going to do whatever I'm going to do whatever I can to get you guys more money. Not just you, but everyone on the team. I want everyone on the team to have more money because we all deserve more. And so she tells her people, and her manager, I'm thinking of the word, HR is technically considered HR, I'm pretty sure. HR, her manager, whatever, is like, okay, well, this is the thing we're trying to do. You're not the only store that's been complaining about money. Everyone in the district, all of those managers have been saying, hey, we need to pay these people more. We're listening to you. We value you. Send us in this information about how many customers you get in, conversion rates, how much you guys make in a week, how all that stuff. Do you make go? How many hours do you have to give out? All the information that managers have to do. They'll get back to you. She does it. They're like, how much of a raise are you requesting? She says, I never know how much. But when she's talking to us, she's saying anywhere between 30 to 20. Then that number changed from 20 to 15 and 20 to 10. So I really don't know how much she put in. I have no idea. But however much it was, okay? And that's what she requests. She puts it in and they say, okay, cool. You should know in about 2 weeks or something, honestly. And this is HR telling her. And she says, already 3 other H&Ms have requested money. They've been accepted. And everyone there already makes more money. They all got the raise already, okay, on the next paycheck. When they get accepted, they get their raise money. And my manager is like, fantastic. That's beautiful to hear. I will let my people know. Just so you know, I am letting my people know. They're expecting stuff. Her HR is like, yeah, spread the word. Let them know. Let them know. Why not? Yeah, you can let them know. Make sure that, you know, they have something to look forward to. Make sure they're really getting goal. That is going to affect whether or not they can get this raise. Fantastic. We're working our asses off. We're making goal. We're making above. We're working our asses off. We're trying. 2 weeks go by. Our manager hasn't heard anything. She's like, okay, I have a meeting with her. I'll email her. I'll call her. Whatever. More weeks go by. We hear nothing. A month go by. We hear nothing. Another month. Another month. Another month. Until finally she says, we should know something around the end of October or the middle of October or something like that. Okay. I put it in my calendar. Great. We hear nothing. Until finally I come in one day and it's before I'm even clocked in. I'm just asking. I think I'm asking for a key to the back of house because I forgot my key. And she looks at me and she says, oh my gosh, Selah. And I look at her face and I literally say, Maria, that's my manager's name. I don't want to know. I do not want to know. I do not want to know. Selah, I don't want to know. She takes a breath. I take a breath. What? So, we're not going to get that raise. Of course we're not. But let me tell you why. Why? And guys, when I tell you why, it's going to blow your fucking mind. This is why. She says that HR had finally revealed to her that it wasn't... Is she about to hit this call? Oh, she got it. Good for her. She said HR had finally let her know that in reality, the reason this raise was put up was not just because other managers were asking for more money. It's because other managers had said, we have a big overturning rate, which pretty much means a lot of people quit as soon as they come in, okay? And they had over like 50%, over 100% turnover rate, right? Our store doesn't even make 50% turnover rate. And then they said, well, if we paid them more, they'd stop quitting, right? So they go, you know, those 3 stores I mentioned earlier who got the raise, ends up they had some of the highest turnover rates in the district. And after they got the check, they kept on quitting. So H&M was like, well, then it's not that we need to pay anyone more. It's because the managers aren't any good. We need to just go up for the managers. So until we figure out what's the problem with the turnover rates, we'll talk to these managers and we're going to put this whole raise debacle on hiatus indefinitely. My manager had no idea it had anything to do about turnover rate, because if she did, she probably wouldn't have even mentioned it to us, because we don't have a high turnover rate. And then you'd think, well, if they're the ones who keep quitting, the people who kept quitting, those top 3 turnover rates, their starting pay now is still higher over there. Literally. And those places, the starting rate over there, maybe 15 or something. I don't know. But it's already higher over there. And we got nothing just because people at our store weren't quitting. Just because we stuck it through. Just because we literally said, no, we believe in our manager. And we believe that our manager is going to fight for us. So we're not going to quit and look for other places. We're going to stay with our manager who said she's fighting for us. And then you guys go and they make our managers look like a fucking fool. And she feels awful because she didn't realize she was giving us misinformation for months now. Because H&M wasn't telling her the truth months. Lying to her face for months. And you guys may be like, well, she wasn't lying. She was just withholding information. Same thing. It's like I said, they chose not to tell her. That's evil. And that had manipulated us to stick at a dead-end job that was never going to give us a raise in the first place. And we have to pay for parking at this location. So now we have to pay for parking. We're getting paid shit money. And when I say I make $12.84, I'm one of the people who make actual money. That's considered decent money as a sales associate. Everyone else, they started at 12. When I got here, they started me at 11. because I had come from Kansas City, and the Kansas City pay started at 11, while everyone around me was getting 12 starting in. So to even get to my 1284 took a lot of time, because they didn't even want to give me 12 right away. Once again, not something my manager could do. And all of that has pissed me off, and they make it hard for the people who work there. They have us do all of this XYZ, and as you're doing it, you're like, yeah, this is in my job description. Sure, I'm supposed to do this, but you guys are supposed to like help me survive. Like I said, this is not in the goodness of my heart. I didn't stop what I was doing in my day and say, oh, I'm gonna go to H&M and I'm gonna fold clothes and I'm gonna let a drunk customer like scream at me, and I'm gonna clean piss off the floor, and I'm gonna put shoes on a homeless man, and I'm going to let another customer scream at me, and I'm going to handle all this cash that my fingers turn blue, and I'm going to walk into a filthy store because you guys refuse to go to a different janitorial company that will come in and do the job. And I will walk past the elevators that literally have growing mold on them. I'm getting upset. But hey, because from the goodness of my heart, so thank you so much for saying we appreciate your hard work and dedication to H&M. Here's a fucking certificate. Fuck off. And suck a dick while you're at it. Fuck H&M. Really. And I say that while simultaneously wearing one of the bras. The bras are low-key pretty good. I get a discount, y'all. And I'm keeping that discount too. I'm literally I'm literally going to be clocking into work once a month just so I can keep this discount at H&M. I know. I'm evil too. I'm supporting evil corporations. Whatever. I know. Whatever. Terrible people do terrible things, and I'm one of those terrible persons, I suppose. Well, it's been like 31 minutes. I say that's a solid episode. At the end of the day, I don't like the company, but I don't like most major corporations. But hey, I still shop them because we don't have a lot of choices. I try not to shop too much at H&M, and I want to also ask you guys, don't shop too much at H&M or Zara or Shein or any fast fashion companies. I understand if you're looking for a pair of slacks to just go in there, it's easy, or a pair of shoes or socks or underwear or whatever, go in there, it's easy. But if you can, try to support sustainable companies. Try to support small businesses. Try to support thrift stores in your area, whether that's even a chain at like Salvation Army and Goodwill. I hear the chains aren't as good for people or whatever. Goodwill is upping the prices like a motherfucker. But hey, at least you know that you're not giving your money to a corporation that low-key induces slavery. Hey, I'm just saying, if they were paying the people who are manufacturing the money, living wages, they would let you know. Because you can look up and see how much I get paid. You can look it up. But you can't look up who makes the t-shirts, how much they're getting paid. And the reason you can't looking that up is because they're hiding it, and they don't want you to know, because they know if you knew, you'd be outraged. Okay? And some of you guys won't be. Some of you guys shop at Shein freely. And that's not me hating on you, because we all do bad things, whatever, okay? If I wanted to be a little bit better, I'd be a vegan and not a vegetarian, right? We're all terrible people in a system, in a terrible world, yada, yada, yada. But that shouldn't be an excuse to continue to do terrible things. So all I'm trying to say is try to be aware of your terribleness. And if you can change, try to change. One of my changes is to leave H&M because it's not my favorite company. And also because I want more money, and I'm a really selfish being. I hope talking bad about a corporation doesn't screw me over. But if it does, how dare we silence the press and yada, yada, yada. This is considered press. This is something that's going to be published. God damn it. Anyways, it ends up, I still am on my period. Didn't realize that until I went to the bathroom and I saw blood on my underwear. So I'm going to go ahead and hurry home so I can pop a tampon in, put a pad on, whichever one comes first. Probably just a pad because it's so much easier and it's not a lot of blood. That's a good excuse. It's not a lot of blood. You know, you get used to things like this after being a woman for so long. not saying that all women have their periods and that you need to have your period to be a woman and yada, 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 yada. Okay. Anyways, thank you for talking to me today. Check out our Instagram. I say our, even though it's just me. But check out the Instagram for this podcast. It's pretend we're on the phone. Check out the speaker, the people you're hearing, the person you're hearing's Instagram as well. And Sailor Marie Baby. There may be an underscore in between there. There may be a dash. I don't really know. Check out my TikTok, Lala the Guru 931, I think. Just type in Lala the Guru and maybe I'll show up. I'm sure I have a Twitter, but I don't remember what it is. Oh, I have a YouTube channel. I think it's Sailor Marie Baby as well. I think so. Goodness gracious, I should post on there more. I hope your year is going well. I think by the time this is out, it's February, so that's a good time to decide, is this going to be a good or bad year? You don't need to decide if it's going to be a good or bad year. It can be good no matter what, because we get to choose what we do with our lives. That's not always true, but one of those options. Now I'm just talking in a circle. Follow me on the social medias or don't. I hope you have a good life, a good month, a good year, and a good day, because that's the day we're in. Good night. I love ya. Have good vagina. Okay, bye.